Hello everyone, welcome back to the Kubernetes Master Series. I am Ashwini, and in today's episode we will learn about the most important Kubernetes security features, which is network policies. So let's get started. Let's understand why we need network policies, what are network policies, why important, how Ingress and Egress rules work, how to create the first network policies. Initially, we will understand what is a network policy. So, in a Kubernetes cluster is like we have a large office, and in a large office building, we have different rooms. So, and also we have different employees. So, every pod is like an employee. Without any security, every employee can walk into every room, and that's obviously not an ideal thing to do. So, instead, we create the access rules. So, only authorized employees can enter specific rooms. So network policy is working in the same way. It will control which pods are allowed to communicate with the other pods or external networks. In short, network policy acts like a firewall for Kubernetes pods. It is used to define who can send traffic, who can receive traffic, which ports are allowed, which protocols are allowed. So, in short, it will control the pod to pod and pod to external traffic using two, that is Ingress and Egress rules. Why do we use network policies or why we need it? Because we have front end pod, back end pod, database pod. Now, suppose if we have front end pod which needs to talk to back end and back end to the database, but don't want the front end to directly access the database. In that case, um, if we do not have the policy in places, then it can pose a very high security risk. That's the reason we use network policies. So we do not have any security risk. We have zero trust security, least privilege access, micro segmentation, compliance requirements. So these are the most four important concepts for which we have the network policies in Kubernetes. So by default, Kubernetes allows all the pods to communicate with each other. There is no restrictions unless we define them. So when we apply a particular network policy to selected pods, only traffic explicitly allowed by the policy is permitted. Everything else is denied. That's why people say like network policies follow a default deny model once applied. So this is the default behavior. We'll understand the core components of the network policy. First is pod selector. This is used to tell the Kubernetes which of the pods the policy is going to apply. Example, apply this policy only to the backend pods. Second is policy types. So first we are selecting the pods by using pod selector, which pods the policy should be applied. Second is the policy types. Now here we have two types generally, that is ingress, and the other one is egress. Ingress is the one that's going to control the incoming traffic, and egress is the one that is going to control the outgoing traffic. We can use either the ingress or the egress, or if required we can use both of them. What is the difference? We just now discussed like ingress is specifying who is allowed to connect to these ports, which ports are allowed, and egress will specify which destination these pods can access. An example of egress will be allow only DNS and database traffic. We'll have a simple YAML. Let's look at the simple networking policy, which is defined in the YAML file. API version networking.k8s.io/v1, kind network policy, metadata, deny all, spec, podSelector, policy type, Ingress. Now this policy is selecting all the pods. In the selector, there is two curly brackets which is stating this policy selects all the pods. There is no ingress rule defined over here. Hence, all the incoming traffic is going to get blocked. This is commonly used as first security policy whenever we have a production cluster. Let's see in action. So first we are going to deploy an Nginx pod. Then we will be deploying a busybox pod. From busybox, we will try connecting to Nginx. We'll see if it works successfully. If it's working successfully, then we go ahead and apply the network policy. We'll wait for a few seconds, try the same command again. If the connection fails, what can be the reason? Network policy is blocking incoming traffic. Let's create another policy that allows traffic from pods with the specific label. Again apply, test again. Now communication succeeds only from the authorized pod. This will demonstrate how network policies protect workloads in an Kubernetes. We'll see some best practices. We'll first start with a default deny policy. Allow only the traffic that applications actually are going to require. Meaningful labels of the pods. Test policies in the staging before production. Keep policies simple, well documented. Regularly review and update them. And the best part is, good security is about allowing only what is necessary. We'll summarize quickly. What we came across is why network policies are important. What are network policies? By default, Kubernetes networking behavior is how. What are ingress and egress rules? How do podSelector works? Policy types, a real world example demo, live demo, and the production best practices. Network policies are one of the easiest way to improve Kubernetes security, and they are widely used in production clusters. In next episode, we will explore another important Kubernetes concept to continue building our production ready Kubernetes knowledge. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss the next episode of the Kubernetes Master Series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy learning.